Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yasmin and I make DIY and home content videos. So today I'm going to start making over a guest bedroom by first tackling a board and batten feature wall that will also act as the headboard for the bed. This is a fairly small room and I want to make sure that it's not only beautiful but also functional for when guests stay over. There's a lot to do, so let me show you the current state of the room so we can go ahead and get started. Alright, let me show you guys this room. I'm embarrassed, but you know what? It is what it is. So here is the guest room slash dumping ground slash storage room. So as you can see, we have a lot of random furniture from our old apartments in here, like this ladder desk, this bed. I have two nightstands all the way in the back over there. I have two random side tables. There is a shelf on the floor, boxes from when we moved in 2 years ago, another random media unit. This is from my old apartment. And frames still in bubble wrap from 2.5 years ago that we moved in. It's embarrassing, I know. And then over here in the closet we have our suitcases and other things just thrown in here. And also we have an ugly ceiling fan that is outdated and will definitely need to get replaced during this makeover. But the only thing this room has going for it are the curtains. I put these up last year when my friend stayed with us. That was kind of last minute and I really didn't have time to put this room together for her and make it cozy, and I feel super bad about it. But I have another friend staying with us in a couple of weeks, so I definitely want to make it over and make it more comfortable and cozy for her. And I'm also planning to reuse a lot of the existing furniture. They're in good shape. I just need to kind of clean everything out and put it together. And I'm also planning to do an accent wall on this wall back here, but I think the first thing I need to do is just kind of clear everything out of this room. There are things that I want to donate, there's things that I'm sure I need to throw out, but I think that's the first step, just so I can kind of get a better vision of what I want to do and finalize the plans for this room. It's just kind of giving me anxiety, but yeah. That's what we're working with, and what I'm gonna do is just start going through everything and we shall see what happens after that. Good morning, you guys. So today is the day that I'm actually going to be starting this guest bedroom makeover. As you guys know, yesterday I cleaned out the room and I kind of got my thoughts together. I also went to Lowe's and picked up a couple of supplies that I needed. But I'm actually going to be doing a board and batten wall for the accent wall in this room, and then the top half is going to be wallpaper. So that's kind of the plan, and I will share with you kind of the measurements and all of that stuff later on, and everything will be in the description box, everything that I use for this makeover if you want to try this on your own. But the first thing that I do want to do is paint the section that the board and batten is going to be first. Because that will make it easier to then do a second coat with everything on the wall. So with that said, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and prep the room for some paint and get to painting. So let's go. taped off. I have the baseboard taped off, and then about 2/3 of the way up, which is 63.5 inches. And as you guys saw, I used my level to create this very straight line. This is also going to be a guide for when I do the board and batten wall, but I'm quickly going to share with you guys my sketch. So this is kind of what the wall is going to look like. The bottom is going to be the board and batten, and then this is the top, which is going to be the wallpaper. So I have the spacing figured out for this room, but obviously customized out depending on the room that you're working in and also your liking. But I will leave all the details in the description box of what I did in case you're interested. But yeah, this is kind of what it's going to look like, and I'm going to actually go get the paint and start painting the first coat. The color I'm using is called Midnight Blue by Behr, and this is the color that I actually use in our powder bathroom makeover, and it works perfectly with the design of this room as well. So just a little tip to use your leftover paints to save on some project costs. Alright you guys, so the first coat of paint is now on the wall, and I think while this is drying, I'm gonna go downstairs in the garage and set up everything so I can start cutting the boards for the board and batten wall. So let's go downstairs so I can show you guys what I'm gonna be doing next. Okay, so I'm in the garage and I have my handy miter saw set up. So I have 2 pieces of 1x4x12, and I have 4 pieces of 1x4x10. And these are all pre-primed MDF, which makes it easier to paint. So essentially the 2 longer pieces are going to be for the top section, and one is going to sit on top kind of like a shelf. And then I'm going to use the 10-foot pieces for the vertical, and they're going to be basically cut in half to like 60 inches. So I'm going to start measuring and cutting and taking them upstairs for the next steps. Have all the pieces cut, and I'm back in the room and ready to work on this wall. So one thing that I wanted to share with you is kind of a tip if you have really skinny small baseboards like ours and you don't want to remove them for this project. This is kind of what I did. So I did a bevel cut, as you can see, for the bottom of each of the vertical pieces. So then once it's like against the wall, it's going to kind of look a little bit cleaner, as you can see here, as opposed to a straight edge sitting on top of the very small baseboard. There's other methods that you can do. You can obviously replace your baseboards or do like other pieces of trim, but this is kind of the easiest and most cost efficient. So just wanted to share that with you guys, but I am going to now use a construction adhesive, this one by Gorilla Glue, and then some nails using my nail gun. I got 2-inch nails to kind of go ahead and get everything on the wall. I applied the construction adhesive in a zigzag pattern and placed the boards on the wall. I made sure to check everything is leveled with my leveler before going in and attaching it permanently with the nail gun. You guys, I have 3 of the vertical pieces up, so the middle piece and the 2 corner ones. And then I also did the top horizontal piece just to make sure everything is leveled. And I think it's just going to be easier from here. I just need to do the spacing, get the other 4 vertical pieces up, and then I have the last piece, which is going to be kind of the shelf on top. So I'm just going to go through and get these on the wall, and I'm so excited because it's already looking so good. Looks so good. I mean, I am just obsessed. I knew I was going to love it, but I just love it so much. So I'm basically done with getting all of the boards and the battens on the wall. Everything is fastened, nice and secure, and the next step is for me to go in and kind of like fill in all of these nail holes, and then I'm also going to be caulking all of the seams all around to make it really nice and smooth for the paint. But I did want to share with you guys a couple things. So the first thing is that my nail gun jammed when I was doing the middle piece, so I had to spend like 30 minutes figuring out how to unjam it. So I learned that today. And the other thing is I broke a board. So I was doing the top shelf and I just dropped it. It broke in half, so I had to go to Lowe's, get another one, cut it, bring it up, and do all of that again. But why I'm sharing this with you is just to kind of show that not everything with a DIY project goes perfectly from start to finish. There is always hiccups, but you just gotta learn from it and move on. So yeah, regardless of all of those, it looks so good, and I just can't wait to see it all painted and finished. So I'm basically done spackling, sanding, and caulking all of the boards and all of the seams, and these are the kind of steps that you really don't want to skip in a DIY project like this, because even though you can't tell from here, they make a huge difference up close and they just make your finished product look so much nicer. But it's about 7 p.m. so I think I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight, because I don't know if it's just me who underestimates how much time everything takes. I thought I would be done with this whole accent wall today. Obviously not the case. Anyways, I'm just gonna go get in the shower. I'm covered in sawdust and everything, and pick back up tomorrow. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Good morning, you guys. It is the next day and Steven is actually helping me swap the ceiling fan in this room. So we just took down the old yellow one and we're gonna install a smaller one that's like black and very sleek looking, and it has a light also, so this room will have overhead lighting. And the reason I'm not doing a light fixture and sticking to a ceiling fan is because this room is in front of our house and it gets really hot in the afternoon, so it'll just be good to have that in here. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now, and I will show you guys once it's up and working. Moment of truth. Let's see if it works. It's on! Woo! I am now going to set up to finish the paint job on this wall and hopefully get to the wallpaper today. Something about painting is just super calming and therapeutic to me. I really took my time and enjoyed the process while I was catching up on all of my favorite YouTubers' latest videos. Alright you guys, the wall is painted and it's looking amazing. I'm literally obsessed with it. And I do want to mention, this is kind of the point in the project where you can definitely stop. The board and batten looks beautiful on its own as a feature wall, but as I mentioned, I want to do wallpaper in the top section, and I'm going to show you guys the wallpaper right now. You ready for it? It's gorgeous. So it's this white and blue wallpaper with kitties and flowers and butterflies on it, and as soon as I saw this, I knew I had to use it in this room. And honestly, the whole design plan for this room is kind of revolving around this wallpaper. This used to be Misha's room. She used to love to hang out in here because it gets so much sun every day, and she used to love laying in the sun. And so I don't know, this is my way of like honoring her, and also, it's just such a cool and whimsical and unique wallpaper, so I'm so excited to see this on the wall, and I'm gonna start getting this on there and hopefully finish today. So let's go. Similar to the boards of the board and batten portion of this wall, I made sure my wallpaper pieces were leveled with using a leveler. Never trust your walls or your ceilings because they're usually not leveled, and that will just ruin your project. So make sure you don't skip this step so everything looks nice and straight. Alright you guys, I just finished the wallpaper. Are you ready for it? Here it is. It looks incredible. I am obsessed. I love the wallpaper. I love this whole feature wall, and I just love it so much. This is hands down my favorite makeover that I've done in this house so far. And it did take me only about an hour, hour and a half. It was pretty easy to do. And if you've watched my entryway closet that I just did recently, that wallpaper was from the Dollar Tree, and it was really tricky to line up the pattern. This one is from Amazon, and I did not have that issue with it, and I will link it below, but I just could not be happier. With that said, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight, and I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Good morning you guys, I am back in the guest room, and as you know, I finished the DIY feature wall last night, and I came in this morning and just loving the sport and batten and the wallpaper. It's gorgeous. But today I want to tackle a DIY for these closet doors. They're just such an eyesore in this room. They're this kind of like sliding closet doors. They're super cheap looking metal white, and they just need to be kind of like DIY to look a little bit more aesthetic. So one of the challenges that I was facing trying to plan a DIY for them is that I don't want them to be so bold that they take away from the actual feature wall in this room. So after much brainstorming and Pinteresting this morning, I think I know what I want to do. I'm going to basically add some trim work to each of the doors, and then I'm going to paint them the exact same color as the walls in this room, which is basically this kind of like beige color, to really blend them into the wall and not have them pop out. So I just got back from the Home Depot. I've picked up these kind of really skinny poplar boards, and I'm going to be adding these again as a trim to the closet doors. And I'm going to show you guys my sketch real quick. This is kind of the sketch that I'm talking about. So this is kind of how I'm going to be adding the trim work. And yeah, so I'm going to pop in the garage, start cutting the boards, and we got a lot of work to do. So let's get started. I have the trim pieces cut, and I just did a dry fit, and everything fits perfectly. And like they say, measure twice, cut once. But yeah, it's looking really good. And as you can tell, we're now in my office, which is right next to the guest room, because there is no room in there to lay these doors on the floor. So I'm going to be working on them in this room. But in terms of next steps, I'm just going to need to sand the trim pieces a little bit, get them onto the doors with some construction adhesive, and then hopefully after that we will get to painting. trim pieces are attached to the doors, and I went ahead and caulked all of the seams, and everything has dried for about an hour. So I think I'm going to prime these doors before I paint them, just because this surface is glossy and also the wood is porous, so it's gonna like really soak up the paint, which we don't want. So I am gonna be using this bin primer. I will link it below for you guys, but I'm just gonna use a roller to prime the doors, and then the next step will actually be painting. Alright, the closet doors are now primed, dried, and scuff sanded, so we are now ready for paint. Let's do it! Alright you guys, so I have painted the closet doors and they're drying, and so now I'm in the guest room and I'm going to paint the border of the closet the same color as the walls and the doors to really kind of blend it in, and that should be it for this little mini DIY closet area. After all the paint was nice and dry, I went ahead and added these handles to the closet doors to add some functionality and aesthetic to the final product. And this is when I realized this video is already going to be super long, so I'm going to wrap up part 1 of this guest room makeover video here and reveal the feature wall and the closet doors to you in 3, 2, 1. What do you guys think? Comment below what your favorite part of the project is so far. I am obsessed with how this board and batten turned out, especially with the pretty and unique wallpaper that just complements the whole design. And I gotta say, I'm a little relieved and very happy with the transformation of these closet doors, because believe it or not, that was such a huge challenge for me. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned some tips that can help you with your next project. Also, don't forget your subscribe with the bell notification on so you don't miss part 2 of this guest bedroom makeover coming up. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!